everybody, and welcome back to this week's new vlog. I'm excited because I decided to bring back, for myself at least, weekly vlogs from Monday to Sunday as opposed to Thursday to Wednesday, so that I have more time to edit and it feels more like a full week for me. I am getting lunch started right after this. I wanted to talk to you about my TBR. Today I definitely want to get to volume 1 of Paper Girls, one that my sister recommended to me. Also, Gabby said it's like Stranger Things vibes. A adult romance that just came out in April called The Romantic Agenda. All I know is that this book is a romance. Joy is 30, flirty, and asexual, and secretly in love with her best friend Malcolm, but has never been able to tell him. And when he announces that he has met the love of his life and invites Joy on a weekend getaway, she ends up meeting someone named Fox. I think this is a fake dating trope to make Malcolm jealous, but maybe Fox is who Joy is supposed to be with, so I'm excited about this. I'm also still like maybe 6 books behind on my Goodreads, so I actually have 3 short books that I picked up at the library that I can read for this, and I have Elevation by Stephen King, very tiny and adorable. I don't think it's even 150 pages. This is based in Castle Rock. Scott tells his doctor friend that he has a weird condition that is making him skinnier. He also has new neighbors who are not being liked, who the locals don't like very much because they don't conform to the lifestyle of their community. Scott is kind of trapped between a neighborhood feud. Scott is helping these women against the prejudices they face in this town, and it says unlikely alliances form, and the mystery of Scott's affliction brings out the best in people who have indulged the worst in themselves and others. I think this is a horror, Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw. I've seen this around on BookTube a lot. This is inspired by Japanese folklore. I think there's just a haunted house, an abandoned mansion where girls have been sacrificed. And then I have Heartberries by Therese Mailhot. This is nonfiction. It is a poetic memoir of a woman's coming of age on the Seabird Island Indian Reservation in the Pacific Northwest. I think all 3 of these are supposed to be under 200 pages, so I can't wait to get to reading. But yeah, welcome to my weekly vlog. I just finished Paper Girls, so this is 144 pages down. This book is taking place in the late 80s, and there are similarities to Stranger Things, although this book came out first. It's sci-fi. There's like possible alien type people and time travel involved. It is 4 young girls on bicycles trying to figure shit out on their own. It's the late 80s. It's like Halloween, so they can't really tell if people are in costumes or not. These girls were just on their paper route and shit started to go down, and they just happened to be together when it did. I enjoyed this. There's a lot of inappropriate things that are not okay to be said anymore, so it's not like politically correct, and there's a lot of awful use of language in this, but I have already put the second book on hold, and I think I'm giving this 3 stars. I'm definitely intrigued, confused, but I like the colors in this, and Brian K. Vaughan is also the author of Saga, which is why it's quite familiar and strange as well. Last night I ended up finishing the entirety of The Romantic Agenda, which I was surprised by. I kind of just didn't want to go to sleep until I had finished it. Because of Paper Girls, so far my page count is at 459. Oh my god, I really like this. I'm giving it 4 stars. And this book is like the only, I think, adult book where the main character is asexual, so there was a lot more conversation about what it means and how it's different for other people and the spectrum of it, because her best friend Malcolm is also asexual as well. That's how they met. I think Malcolm and Joy's relationship is very special. They clearly have an intense bond. However, at times it could be really unhealthy, and it made other partners feel left out. And second best to Joy. That's kind of what was special about Summer. Oh, I just wanted to say also that Joy reminds me of Molly from Insecure, and so that's who I kept envisioning. She's like so very sure of herself, and I loved that. And she's also like has a side hustle being an influencer, though she doesn't really call that, or like content creator. In terms of Fox, it was different for him because it started out as a fake dating trope, but it allowed Joy to also feel something for someone other than Malcolm, because she has been longing for him as long as they have known each other. It had really open conversations about asexuality, where Joy was so sure of herself, and not only because Malcolm was there, because they fall very differently on the spectrum. She was just like so sure. She didn't need to feel apologetic about who she was, and she kind of had this rehearsed spiel about asexuality and what it is and why it's different for people. She said to gauge the situation, to see whether or not she's going to offend someone and how she can kind of reel back from that, which is also kind of unfair, but it's so practiced in her head that it almost sounds robotic, but it's kind of in the most basic way to be like, this is what it is, and you can't really argue otherwise. And so there are obviously people who kind of question it because maybe they actually think that way, but also because they've just been so conditioned in this heteronormative world to think another way. And so I really liked that it was open about talking about it, so I definitely really enjoy this and recommend it. So 4 stars for this one. And next, I don't really know what to read because they're both all short. I also need to pack up because I'm going to be staying in the East Village tonight, and I kind of want to bring a longer book, but Wednesday I'm going to be out of the house all day, and plus I have dinner plans, so I don't know how much I can realistically read. I want to bring maybe 2 of them. Honestly, I think I will finish both of these, so I want to add another book to my TBR as well. I think I'm going to be bringing Nothing But Blackened Teeth as well as Elevation by Stephen King, and I do kind of want to pick up One Night on the Island, but this is like the only romance that I have on my TBR, and I want to save that for when I go to the beach this weekend. So looking at my TBR shelf up there, even though I also have one down here, I think I want to pick either The Deep, The Searcher, Anonymous Girl. I also want to read She Said because the trailer has been released and it was recommended to me by someone whose neighbor actually is Megan Twohey, but I already have nonfiction on my TBR for this vlog, so I think I'm gonna go those 3 depending on how I feel. My work OOTD for today, and I'll wear some black shoes. I did start reading a little bit, but not enough to update. Also, that number has come down, so it's now 4. Yay! Good morning. Technically still morning. I should have brought 3 books because I finished this on the way to work. So it is rooted in Japanese folklore. 4 friends are renting out this space, which is known as like a haunted house, because one of them is getting married there and it's always been her dream, and haunted shit starts to happen. I was confused. Like, I fell asleep on the train, but I read back everything that was happening, and I felt like it could have done a lot more. The language is like semi-poetic to kind of like distract you. I kind of like that it kind of countered the horror of it. It could have done a lot more. I think in novellas it's a lot harder to draw someone in like that, so I'm giving this 2 stars. After work, I was waiting for Coda to be off, so I decided to start Elevation because I was also losing battery on my phone and I didn't want to spend too much time on there. I ended up reading the entirety of this as well. This was about a man named Scott Carey, who is having this weird condition of losing immense amounts of weight, but there's a little twist of what, actually, because we don't know why. It's this strange occurrence, and he has these neighbors who are hated by everybody because they are married lesbians, apparently. It's a huge problem that they're married, and they own a vegetarian restaurant. He is trying to befriend them and do good for them, although one of them is very hesitant to accept such help. I also find it really weird because this book was published in 2018, and not that there aren't any completely bigoted towns in this country, in this world, but I feel like that's all Stephen King writes. So does he think that way? Is the place where he lives like that? I'm just wondering. I kind of was like, okay, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Why? It was an interesting enough story, and I really love the end pages here. They're so pretty, and I think that had the library plastic not been on it, it would have been kind of shimmery, which I really love. I kind of was just a little bit unsatisfied. It was a little bit sweet but short. So I'm giving this 3 stars. But now I have nothing to read on the train. Today I got ready. It's my day off and I am actually going to Williamsburg to get a tattoo from an artist that I've been like originally wanted one from. I just had no idea when she would be coming back from LA. I booked with somebody else, but they turned me down because they said that wasn't quite their style. And so I really hyped myself into getting this tattoo because it's been one I've been wanting for a while. I just needed to pull the trigger on when. Then the artist I'm going to, Ariel, was like, hey, books are open for July and August. And I was like, awesome. So I booked it because I was just now in that mood to get it. The only people who know are like Coda and work people because they wanted me to fill in today and they were like, why can't you work? My mom has no idea. She will not know. My sister like kind of knows. My mom is so against tattoos, so she will not know. I'm getting a little bouquet of sunflower and amaryllises. Those are the 2 favorite. They signify strength as well. Right about here. I'm nervous. I made sure to eat something. I'm gonna drink more water and then pack my bag. Coda is going to meet me later. And then I have dinner plans with a friend that I haven't seen in a while. I'll probably end up listening to a podcast on the train, but my page count for yesterday is probably like 280 or something. Yesterday, I actually didn't get any reading done. I needed to get some editing done, and then I was so tired and I went to sleep, set an alarm for like 11 hours later. Couldn't really sleep right away, but I got like almost 10 hours of sleep. So today I'm now all not naked. I'm dressed to go out to have dinner with a friend. We are going to You and Me Books that I have been wanting to visit for a while, so I told her about it. So we're having a little bookstore date and then dinner after. I feel like my outfit's very summery today. I am wearing this lemon fit that I got like maybe 4 years ago and wore as a set only once. I've worn this top separately, maybe the skirt, I don't really know, and just simple gold jewelry. I got new claw clips yesterday from the store called Lockwood. The other one looks like this. It's a little tulip. I think is so adorable, and it actually is strong enough to hold up all of my hair, so in this heat it'll be perfect. The book I will be bringing with me is Heartberries by Therese Mailhot. I don't have any plans of what to buy, although my friend does. I do have books that I want, but it's just like too many to know which ones, and also a small local bookstore, who knows if they'll have that. So I'm keeping my options open. I'm back from dinner. I didn't read too much. The train ride wasn't that long, so I'm gonna continue reading this tonight. It's about her coming of age and her survival of her dysfunctional family. She's dealing with PTSD, and she's also been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. But it's reading a lot like a novel. There's sometimes second person. I know that there are a few exes that she's talking about, and honestly is a little bit confusing, but I'm not hating it. I just have to remember that this is like someone's life and this is just the way that they write. And I got 2 books. I felt like I could get 2 books because my friend Lucy also got 2 new books. It just felt perfect to get 7 Days in June by Tia Williams because I've heard very lovely things about this book. I'm pretty sure it's like a romance, very slow burn. Eva is a single mom and a best-selling erotica writer, and Shane is a reclusive, award-winning novelist who shows up in New York, and both of them meet at a Black literary event. Sparks fly. No one knows that 15 years earlier they had met and fallen in love as teenagers and had been secretly writing to each other in their books. I got a free bookmark, which is a really nice bookmark also. You and Me Books is, I believe, the first Asian-owned bookstore, if not the first Asian female-owned bookstore in New York. It was really great. It's very much a used bookstore, so it got a little bit overwhelming because it felt a little bit chaotic. They serve coffee there. I believe they're trying to get their liquor license to serve wine as well, and they have a book club. It's a nice feel in there. It was also disgustingly hot out today, and it's very nice with the AC. The second book that I picked up is Min-Jin Lee's Free Food for Millionaires. I read Min-Jin Lee's Pachinko either last year or 2 years ago. Really enjoyed it, so I was contemplating getting this because one of my friends, actually I'm pretty sure it's the one I saw yesterday, Alyssa, told me that she actually enjoyed this one more than Pachinko. Casey Lee, who is strong-willed, a Queens-bred daughter of Korean immigrants, and she's addicted to a glamorous Manhattan lifestyle that she cannot afford. She has just graduated from Princeton with a degree in economics but has no job, but has a popular white boyfriend, and she doesn't know how she can create space for herself in the glittering world that she craves. I also am shocked at how well my hair has stayed up with this claw clip. I think it's just different. Like, definitely paying $17 for something works better than something that costs like $7. Good morning. I am currently working, but last night I finished Heartberries. Because it's nonfiction, I'm not going to be rating it. This was an interesting experience though, because it very much felt like reading a novel, like I said yesterday. And so I feel like I know this author, but at the same time that I know nothing about her. The way that it was written, it didn't feel like there was a specific timeline at all, and at times with it being written in second person, I could only infer who she was talking to. To me, I think it was Casey. I have no idea how I even came across this book, or even the other two short little novellas that were on, because they've been on my TBR for at least a year. It's kind of nice looking for short books to catch up on my reading goal, and only to realize that I'm also able to tick off books on my TBR. I should now only be 2 or 3 books behind. I am leaning towards starting An Anonymous Girl by Greer, Hendricks, and Sarah Pekkanen. I have read 2 books by this author duo. Jessica has agreed to be a test subject in a psychology study about ethics and morality, but when the study moves from the exam room to the real world, the lines are quite blurred. Now, Dr. Shield seems to know exactly what Jess is thinking and what she's hiding. So Jess is being monitored, but also manipulated. It's been on my TBR, my physical TBR, for quite some time, so I'm going to take this with me over the weekend. So far, my page count is 869 pages. I definitely feel like I've seen these things in Saga. I just finished this. I think it's like 130 pages. Still more confused. There's like multiple different timelines. It's to be continued, so I immediately put the 3rd volume on hold. Hello, I'm currently in Long Island. It's the last day of the vlog. I probably won't be able to finish this book. I read a decent amount on Friday, so I definitely read over 250 pages because of Paper Girls, but it's the last day of the vlog and I didn't read anything yesterday. Surprise, surprise. We're getting ready to go see Nope in theaters. We'll probably have lunch there. So far in this book, you can tell that Dr. Shields is already super manipulative because she is using Jess for her own gain. Now, Jess is also using Dr. Shields because she went to this questionnaire situation under false circumstances. She really needs the money. She is secretly like supporting her parents, although when you read more about it, you're like, actually, bitch, you fucking should. It's good so far. It's quick. There's like possibly like a questionable romance that I have no idea why.
Bit is very small.
Not done.
I've reached a point in this where I'm now more confused. I mean, I kind of was just reading it to be like, okay, yeah, this is what's gonna happen, you know. Still curious, not overly intrigued, but there's something we're not being told. Jess supposedly knows what he looks like. She doesn't now. It is now Monday, and I started a new video, and I'm closing out this vlog. I did spend a little bit of today reading this. I think this author duo might be hit or miss for me. Their thrillers, their mysteries were exciting at the beginning, but then I felt like this book kind of went on for a little bit too long and it could have ended a lot faster, and I kind of wasn't as interested as I should be. The twists were kind of boring. They were so lackluster that the way that they were revealed, it wasn't giving anything. So I think maybe this is 2.5 stars. The premise was obviously interesting at the beginning, but I never was like, oh my gosh, I have to keep reading. It was more like, okay, I have time, I will continue reading. I should have a list of the books that I've read also. My total page count is, honestly, it was better in my weekend vlog. I read 1,250 pages over the course of this week. Let's see what I read, if I remember anything. Elevation by Stephen King. I gave that 3 stars. I read nothing but Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw, which I gave 2. Heartberries by Therese. Mailhot, no rating. And then lastly, I finished off with An Anonymous This Girl by Greer, Hendricks, and Sarah Pekkanen, which is 2.5 stars. And like I said, my page count was 1,250 pages. I hope you enjoyed the weekly vlog. I definitely feel a lot better having done a Monday to Sunday vlog again, although I feel like I got a lot more clips than I needed to. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!